it's quite a treat for us to be able to contribute to problems and try to help you solve your problems. I'm with Tipperary. We predominantly do the eventer circuit, the racetracks with the jockey helmets. We also do rough stock rodeo. I'm leaving here tomorrow to head off to the rodeo and live the life of a cowboy for 2 weeks and hang in with a lot of bulls back in the pens. But in those sports, in that sport, they're having the same issues you're having. And that is, how do they implement something they know is needed to a traditional factor within the sport with a lot of riders that have been around for a while. Also, I mentioned earlier, I spoke about the NHL, my past experience with hockey and being involved in the original hockey helmet standard way back when, and the implementation of that standard into a sport that also was very traditionally orientated and how that took place. And it had to be mandated, but it wasn't effectively directed at the higher end athletes. It was started at the grassroots, and it gradually grew through to the point where you have everybody wearing helmets. In rough stock rodeo, the same thing's happening. They're mandating it for under 18 in some states, but we're finding at the high school and the college level that it's being mandated there, and those kids are the ones that move into the pro ranks. So when they get into those ranks, they're used to having something on their head. It's interesting, I've only been in this industry for probably 8 years, and it was quite, my daughter has ridden for a long time, and that's how I ended up coming this way. I have many young lads who would love to have ridden a horse. My parents felt that wasn't what I should be doing. I should be putting on hockey skates and going to spend some time in the wintertime on some pond. So I do have a love for this industry. But I found there was so much misinformation and lack of education and knowledge with riders. I have, even today, still get phone calls from people about helmets or about situations. What do we do? I mean, the fact that these helmets are designed for a single impact, and they don't understand that. And that's very important to educate them. Say, no matter what the fall, you'd be surprised at how minor an impact could be. That when you get these helmets back and you take them apart, you look on the inside and the liners are compressed on the inside and they've taken a blow. One thing I can tell you and stake my life on is that equestrian helmets work. I have numerous calls from people thanking us, as I'm sure Tim and the rest of the helmet manufacturers had, that in falls where you would expect catastrophic results, as people are getting up, they may go into the hospital with minor concussions. Okay? But the helmets out there are functioning. You've got a product in the market, no matter what manufacturer, that they're doing the job. So I think the issue here, and as manufacturers being here to try to help you support symposiums like this, which are fabulous. I don't think I've been exposed in any other sport where a group of people from the professional level and within the group's organizations have got together to put on something like this. And this is what you need at all the other levels in the sport to educate parents, the kids. I mean, I've heard several times tonight emulation of what they see on the track or in the ring or running cross country. And it's very true. Young kids want to be, they're all wannabes. But you have to draw that line in the sand and say, you know, here's where it's going to start and move forward with that. And again, I just want to thank you as a manufacturer. I'm sure the manufacturers are saying it's great to see you all again. But one of the things I want to say as well is that I talked to Charles Owens, and we've discussed it several times, and we sit on the, as Rick does, on the board of ASTM, or the group that does helmets, safety padding. And the more contributions we can have from groups like yourselves, from Pony Club, right through all the different organizations, it certainly helps guide our group in working on helmets. It's pretty tough when you get a few manufacturers to try to do things, but then we have to deal with the scientific community. And David Halstead gets involved with us, and you can see the kind of data. There's so much information that comes out. It's part of the whole education process. So you've got to get the education going, get rid of this misinformation, and start setting some lines that these people have to follow. I mean, it's just for all our benefits. That's about it. Thank you, and again, thank you for letting us come.